Hey guys, welcome back, it's your boy. We're playing Baldur's Gate 3 today. So, yeah, managed to actually get it working and be able to record it properly. The only problem is there might be a few frame drops here and there. Normally, the frame drops happen towards the start. We're playing a rogue. You can see on screen just there my stats. If you feel free to copy them if you want. The reason why those are the stats like that, it's because we're playing solo rogue. So that's going to be fun. So we're just going to be blitzing through the Nautiloid, and today on the Nautiloid what we're going to be doing is getting to level 2 right at the end of it. Now if you haven't seen this done before, it's a really cool, neat way of doing it. I wouldn't advise doing it unless this is like maybe your 4th or 5th character that you played. I've put about 100 hours into it now, so I'm kind of just going to level 2 as soon as I can on the Nautiloid. It's quite fun, to be honest, because you go around with the first portion of the game really overpowered. You get to level 3 about pretty much near the end, or even sometimes at the start of the ruined chapel place, you know, where you meet the Scribe of the Dead. I'm pretty sure that skeleton guy must be Yergul, or at least Yergul's avatar, something like that. And if you don't know anything about Baldur's Gate lore, yeah, I know too much. Years of playing the original Baldur's Gate games. But anyways, it doesn't matter. So, as you can see, we failed the rolls with us, so just going to ignore that. The most optimal would be to just quick save, reload, get us, because it will help out a huge amount for getting to level 2. However, this run that I've done here was probably the best level 2 getting to level 2 run that I've done ever, and it was so easy, so simple, didn't have any issues, wasn't fearing for my life at any point, so yeah, it was great. And it didn't take us too long either. I was quite surprised at how quick and efficient I managed to get through it, and didn't die either, so no reloads, which is great. To be fair, I don't think I've actually reloaded in this entire playthrough as of yet. I don't normally like to reload in Baldur's Gate 3 because terrible computer takes a bit too long to, it just takes a bit too long to load. And to be fair to, for the sake of you guys, I will cut out any of the loading screens just so it's easier for you guys. But in my opinion, rogues really overpowered, really powerful. Stealth is just insane because you can literally do what I've done here. Shoot the imp with your bow, move away, and then sneak again. And then, you're not in combat still. And you get 2 attacks off basically at the start of a round as well. So yeah. Now coming to think of it, I do remember actually having to reload later on in the in the game. But that was only because I'm still getting to grips with the rogue playstyle, and also the fact that this is the first ever solo run that I've done. So bear with me throughout this playthrough. So you can see here, typically I'm just using my character to pick off all of the imps. We are using Lizelle here just because I cannot be asked to micromanage, but after the Nautiloid it will be a proper solo run. I don't even count the Nautiloid really as part of, of the game. But yeah. My huge recommendations when playing, especially with any class or any character, always look for things to dip your weapon into, and if you don't have any fire around you, there's one item which I'm tempted on doing a video on, but in my opinion it's the most overpowered item in Baldur's Gate 3, and it's not a weapon, it's not a piece of armour, it's not a magical item, you can't equip it, but it is hands down the most powerful item in Baldur's Gate, because it's versatile and it doesn't cost you any moves. Maybe cost you a little bit of movement, but that's about it. And you may have seen a few of the min-maxers or extremely very powerful, I'll say powerful, some of the extremely competent Baldur's Gate 3 players do this, and it's basically a candle. Hands down, the candle is the most powerful item in Baldur's Gate 3. You have portable fire, which you can drop for a free action, you can then light it as a free action, and then dip your weapon into it as a bonus action, and then still attack. It is stupidly good. You can see as well here I swap out the short bow for a crossbow. Crossbow's just more powerful, and yeah, that's basically it. I think what short bow does 1d6 damage and the crossbow does 1d8, so you know, it's great. And also I think it's simple weapons proficiency, so good. Pick up the potion of speed. Potion of speed is, like, you know, probably one of the other better items in the game. If only the potion of speed can give you 2 bonus actions per round as well, that would be the dream. So yeah, here we go. You know, we've just gotten to the bridge. I mean the outside area of the Naughty-loid. I will be skipping through most of the conversations and stuff, purely for the case of, yeah, so you can see how I play. This isn't really much of a story, you know, run. I can do that at another point, which I'm tempted on doing, and I've got some ideas in the works. One idea in the works is actually doing a Warlock playthrough. The only problem is I do not like Warlocks in Baldur's Gate 3, because they're really powerful, don't get me wrong. They're very good, but they're boring. I like characters that have a bit of, you know, a bit of flair to them. Rogues are actually really fun, probably my 3rd favourite class. My most favourite class would be Druid. I don't know why, it's just the one class I've had more fun with playing than anything else. And then the second one will probably end up being between Ranger and between a Wizard. Wizard because they're caster characters, you actually have to think about which spells you're using. But Rangers, there's a certain build I used, which was a 2-handed greatsword wielding Sword of Justice Ranger, and it was just so much fun, to be honest. Colossus Slayer and the Hunter's Mark, just, yeah, was really good fun. I managed to kill Minotaurs in literally like 1 round. Good. But yeah, I prefer more caster-based characters, which is why I'm really excited for multi-classing to come out. Because when multi-classing does come out, I really do want to make like a sorcerer fighter style character. I want to go for a full-on like battle mage. If you've watched any of my Baldur's Gate 1 and Baldur's Gate 2 videos, then you know my favourite class throughout the whole Baldur's Gate original trilogy would be a berserker mage. Hands down, my favourite class. But we all know Baldur's Gate 3 is completely different. It's 5th edition rules, not 2nd edition. So, you know, huge gap between the rule set since, but it's still going to be a lot of fun. And I really can't wait for Larian to finally implement all of the rest of the races and classes. I'm hoping the next class will be a paladin, because I do want to give it a go. I do want to sort of, you know, try and attempt a good paladin playthrough. Mainly because I'm obsessed with blackguards because of Baldur's Gate. The first one and the second one naturally. Dawn was really good. But yeah, I would love to make a blackguard style character. And I'd love to know how they implement blackguards into Baldur's Gate 3. Because, you know, typically paladins are always good. It'd be also good to see if you can make an evil ranger. Like, we all know if you play the original trilogy, if you become, you know, evil as a ranger, you become a fallen ranger. Yeah. Don't know, I can't remember if it did actually add any negative effects. Can't really remember. But, yeah, I digress. As a cleric, you know, you can lose your deity if you're evil. And I think it's the opposite way around. If you've got an evil cleric, evil deity, like Lolth, for example, but you play as a good cleric, I'm pretty sure you can lose her. Now that's an interesting thing, actually. One thing I really want to talk about is a character which most people should know. I personally don't understand why there's hate for this character, because I love him. But I do understand the hate, but is Drizzt. Now, my first ever introduction to this character was because of Baldur's Gate. He was obviously in the first one and the second one, and I like his character. I like his character a lot. The fact is that those games made me read those books. Now, I saw a Reddit post today, and it was really interesting, speaking about how Drizzt, he doesn't worship Lolth. In fact, he's very much against her, and he's open with how much he hates Lolth. But there's a theory that he is one of Lolth's chosen, and in fact not just one of her chosen, but her avatar as well, because Lolth is the goddess of chaos, and everywhere, and I mean everywhere that Drizzt goes, chaos ensues, either for Menzo Berenzan, the Drow people of the Underdark, or even just in general. Like, he causes so much just chaos and destruction everywhere he goes. So it's really interesting, it's really cool, like, just thinking that he could possibly, you know, be the one thing that he hates. Yeah. Anyway, here we go, picking up the most overpowered item in the game. And honestly, to be fair, I really do think it is that good. Everyone should have at least either a torch or a candle in their inventory at all times, no matter what. Another thing as well, so playing a solo rogue has made me adapt and change my playstyle quite a lot. So beforehand I was kind of just quite simple in the way I played. You know, you just point click, get into combat, you don't really think too much before going into combat. I didn't really split up my party either, kind of just like moved all as a group. No, playing as a solo rogue now makes me think heavily on positioning. It's very interesting of how much it makes you actually have to think before, you know, going into combat or incidents where you could potentially die straight away. Which is the fun part about doing a solo run. And this is my first solo run, as I've said, so expect more in the future when I get better. And you can expect that the, you know, as with any game, as with anyone playing, that you can expect to get better as you play more. So that's hopefully, you know, going to be me. Because I would love to do a solo run as a Warlock, but I know Warlocks aren't probably that good at stealth. Unless, of course, you specifically go a stealth Warlock. But I do have a plan for that Warlock in particular, and it'd be utilising a few mods that I've got installed. So I have been playing around with modded Baldur's Gate, and it honestly has been a lot of fun. One of those mods that I've got installed is Warlock's Pact. So it adds 3 new packs into the game, one of which is Pact of the Blade. So you still, you know, have the Fiend as your patron. It doesn't change anything like that. But you can then at level 3 choose between 3 packs. One's Pact of the Tome, Pact of the Blade, and I forget the other one. I think it's called Pact of the something or other. I really can't remember. But it allows you to summon a creature or familiar to help you. To be fair, not really needed. However, Pact of the Blade is a lot of fun. And the reason for that is you can play a very powerful melee Warlock without having to be the Githyanki race. Now, if any of you have seen Vextra Lice videos, it's pretty much, you know, it's that build. But you can play it as any character you want. And I think I played my Warlock as a Drow. You know, funny enough, I like Drows. Don't worry, I'm not edgy as much as you think. But yeah. Drows are just really, yeah, I'm drawn to playing as a Drow, one of my favourite races. The other one playing as half-elf, naturally. I just really like them. I really like races. My favourite race in Oblivion, or Elder Scrolls series, was Dark Elves. Mainly because my first RPG experience ever was Morrowind and Fable. So Fable, obviously you don't have elves in that, but, you know, just saying, was my first ever RPG experience was playing that on the original Xbox. Same with Morrowind. And I always played Morrowind as a Dark Elf. Not sure why. I just did. It felt right. And to be fair, I go back to the game now and I still can't play any other character other than a Dark Elf. It just doesn't feel correct. Anyway, get back to the game. So, here, we split the party up. This is the way to get to a Nautiloid on level 2. sorry, no, I said that wrong. This is the way to get to level 2 on the Nautiloid. So you split your party up, you run in to the, the bridge section on your own. What you want to do is you want to jump to this sort of just below the stairs here, just to get as far in as possible so you don't waste movement speed. It does help a little bit, but yeah. So obviously cutscene, here we go. I rolled actually really high in the initiative, which normally doesn't happen for me. Normally I roll quite low in initiative, so I got quite lucky here. So what I want to do is drop the candle, because my crossbow's not lit, but I can now light the crossbow and dip it into, and this is all in one, like, I've only used one bonus action. It's honestly really stupidly powerful, really, really good. And luckily, with that explosion, I've just killed 2 imps, so good. And end my turn. So to be fair, doing all of this, it uses up a lot of, you do a lot of things, but without actually having to do anything, if that makes sense. Because you're not wasting actions picking up a candle, lighting your bow on fire or anything like that. So here I crouch because I'm just out of vision, because it gives you advantage on attack. Hopefully I was trying to get that one shot, but didn't roll high enough on damage. And then I pick up these Naughty-loid crates. I've been picking up all of these crates as I go through, so you can see how many I've got. I've got all of them throughout the entirety of the first portion of the level. One of the things as well, just drop the bow off of Lizelle. It doesn't really matter actually here, because she's just standing with her thumb up her ass, so you can literally just make her over encumbered. It honestly doesn't matter. I just had that sudden realisation, like, oh, well, hang on a second, as long as my character's not over encumbered, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so here you go, I just end my turn, and then next turn we finish off the imp.
If this ship hits the ground,
I didn't get very lucky with the Mind Flare this run, so when I say lucky, the Mind Flare, ideally want him to hit Commander Zolk a lot, and then, hopefully get a few stuns in as well. But at this point, we're about, 3 rounds in for combat. He hasn't really done much. Okay, so here we go. So what I do here is make sure Lizelle's not over encumbered, because she's now going to be moving in. I also use the Healy thing. That is also another thing, is if you ever cast a character, wizard, whoever you're playing, you can feel free to cast as many spells as you like, because Lizelle can just activate that and it heals the entire party no matter how far away you are. Okay, so when you get here, you want to be sneaking. You want to drop all of the Naughty-loid crates and stack them on top of each other. Now, as I say, you may have seen this before. If not, if this is your first time watching and seeing this done, then great. This is a pretty good, idea of how to get to level 2. But yeah, basically you're just hoarding all of these explosive Naughty-loid crates and then dropping them. It's really simple as that. And the thing is as well, Larian have been quite nice to you and given you everything that you need to get to level 2 on the Nautiloid. So, for example, you could be a fighter character and still do the same thing. You can be a rogue character like myself, and myself and Lizelle, we don't have fire spells. Obviously, I have a candle, so I can, the almighty overpowered candle. I can literally just light my crossbow and shoot it. But yeah, even if I didn't have any of that, if I didn't have any fire, if I didn't have any explosive means to blow up these bottles, you still get given this Scroll of Firebolt. Now, this Scroll of Firebolt is literally what I will be using to blow up these crates. It just is really, really good. And now obviously I've got dual short swords. Ideally, to be fair, for a rogue, I always go for my dual short sword. Try saying that 3 times quick. Funny enough as well, I have a stutter, which is ironic because I want to do a commentary channel. Alright, so yeah, still in stealth, you're sneaking around. Lizelle's going to jump up here so she's got advantage, and also so she's not seen. She's kind of just like tucked out of the way and safe. She's really not really used ever throughout any of this combat stuff. She's kind of like a support character at this point, so she's just going to basically be throwing stuff at enemies, and obviously she's going to be igniting the barrels Guy Fawkes style. Luckily my Mind Flare friend here actually gets the stun, so I can then swap 2 daggers and get my backstab. I didn't get the hiding, unfortunately, which is, you know, is what it is. But I do get the backstab and I get advantage, but I still miss. I know it's only like 60% chance to hit because his AC is so high. You're not obviously meant for either of these two to die at this point, but you know, you can kill them, and it's, you know, quite easy, especially with the patch 4. So when I first originally played, the Cambions used to come a lot earlier. I think they've pushed them back about 2 rounds now, so they come back. They come to help Commander Zolk 2 rounds later, and I don't know why they've done that, unless they have them and I'm just silly, but I swear the Cambions used to come a lot earlier. Like, I swear it was like two rounds before. So here I trigger the cutscene to get the imps. The reason I do this is because I can now get the extra 30 XP from those imps. Every little experience helps, so you kind of want to be doing all of that. So right now I am looking at the health pools, whatever, of both the Mind Flare and the Demon Dude. And the Demon Dude's not looking great. He's still got quite a lot of health, and the Mind Flare doesn't have that much in comparison. So here we go. I look over to Lizal, and I knew the Cambions were coming here. Githyanki Magic Hand I do have spawned in because it's an extra 1 damage. And here we go. Lizal is just going to be absolutely obliterating these Cambions. Look at all those damage numbers. And bearing in mind as well, Cambions have a, I think, 50% resistance to fire, so they're actually taking half damage. But it is glorious when the feeling that you have when you completely and utterly destroy and obliterate these 2 demons, and they yield like 240 XP each. So it's a lot. So here we go. I send in my little magical hand puppet. He's invisible, so it's great. And then I backstab the 1 imp that had 1 HP left. And you know, that's all the Githyanki Magic Hand can do. It can only do 1 damage. It can throw stuff, but it only does 1 damage, which is all I needed, which is thankful. Right, so here I jump to get a little bit further, and I can sort of run in between the imps here. So obviously if I run too far I get hit by both of them, but if I run exactly where that is, I can then get the backstabs. So yeah, I get my 100% attack, which, bearing in mind as well, you can still actually miss on a 100% chance to hit. It's quite sad actually. Now, you have to be careful doing the imps on your own as your character, especially as a rogue, because you can die very easily, especially with such low hit points. So, you know, ideally you kind of want to have Lizal there with you normally, but I've got Potion of Speed if I need it, and I can pretty much nearly one-shot these imps. So Cambions on now 2 health from burning, the other one's dead, he's literally dead to the world. So, and this is what I mean, like, I got extremely lucky with how efficient this was. It's not always going to be like looking like this, but yeah, it happens. So here I'm getting Lizal to throw some stuff, and then the game was just glitching out, probably because I wasn't in range. But yeah, game just glitched out a little bit. So here we go, I throw the spike bulb because it does a little bit of damage, but I'm trying to get the demon in as well. So I think the demon's in range there. Nope, he wasn't. It was just a Mind Flare, which then puts the Mind Flare on 10 HP. So yeah, Zolk is looking beefy, and in all fairness, you don't need to kill Zolk at all. He doesn't give you any experience at all. The only thing you want to kill Zolk for, if you know you're a fighter character, or just a character who's going to be using a greatsword, that's the only thing you want to kill him for, is so you can pick up his greatsword. So here I was like, okay, both Cambions are dead. I've now leveled up. I'm now level 2. I can just get off. And yeah, there we go. In a perfect world, perfect scenario, you'd have the Cambions both dead, the Mind Flayer dead, and Commander Zulk dead, and you could just walk around looting to your heart's content. But I don't need that. I'm a rogue. I'm not going to use a greatsword. I don't have proficiency to use a greatsword, so yeah. But you know, talking about this now kind of comes up with an interesting build idea. A Githyanki rogue who backstabs with a greatsword. That sounds quite funny, actually, if it's possible. You know, it might work, might not. Strength-based rogue, who knows? Anyway, I'm going to skip through the loading screen here, so bear with me, I'll be back just after. And we are back. Alright, here we go. So, cutscene time, skip through all of this. Yeah, there we go. Nautiloid is burning out of the sky as we crash to our deaths. But do we actually die? That would be a short game, wouldn't it? Just get to level 2 on Nautiloid and then dead. Oh, fun. But here we go. We are on... Now, here we actually start the game properly. Which, you know, this is where the fun begins. And we're going to level up. Obviously, you know, rogues don't get anything special. You know, you get dash as a bonus action, but, you know, the only thing about rogues is you get more hit points as a level 2. They kind of are a little bit of a boring class in regards to not getting a lot, but they're a really fun class to play. Really fun class to play. So here you go, you see me swapping out for my 2 dual short swords, and we are pretty much going to be rocking double short swords throughout the entirety of this game. There's not really any good daggers, and there's 2 really powerful short swords which I will be using. And yeah, I think this is, you know, coming towards the end of the video here, so I will just say, if you've enjoyed watching this first video of Baldur's Gate 3, please, you know, feel free to make your comments known down below. If you want to see more, please like the video. If you like it, it means I know that I'm doing stuff right. And yeah, we'll just carry on towards the end. I think I'll speak to Shadowheart in a bit, but yeah, just remember, just if you like what you're seeing, please subscribe. It helps a lot. It doesn't cost anything. And if you don't like the content later on down the line, you know, you can always unsubscribe. No hurtful feelings there. And here we go. Here's Shadowheart, the first companion, proper companion that you get in the game.
Stop! Not another step or I'll... Wait.
So you can see here I'm actually going through a bit of the cutscenes here, mainly because I'm playing a Seldarine drow, not a Lolth drow. So I wanted to see if there was anything different with the options I could pick.
You've got the same thing I do in your head.
I'm still going to skip through. Well, I don't know, but I don't know why I lingered so long on that one, but yeah. So yeah, I noticed there was no new dialogue options. Probably Seldarine hasn't been, you know, it's not been developed as much as Lolth has probably. But hopefully we'll see some new stuff, you know, some new dialogue options when it comes in. And here you see me doing the old Immerwin trick from Baldur's Gate 1, where I just completely loot my companions and take everything that they own, and then leave them in the dust. I don't even need to level up Shadowheart because I'm not even going to be using her. Same with all companions, I'm not even going to be using them. But you want to talk to them because you do get that extra juicy XP sort of boost. I think it's like 100 XP per person you speak to, maybe, can't remember, but yeah. And here we go, Shadowheart is now just going to obliterate the 2 mind brain thingies. What are they called? Intellect Devourers, there we go. Yeah, so, Guiding Bolt, and then she's going to cast Shield of Faith for no reason at all. Yeah. And then she uses her wisdomy divine fire thing for 1 damage. So, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just going to kill it. So I did, what, 8 damage and then 4 damage. Yeah. Magic's not that powerful when it comes to a good blade. And then we are going through with the last intellect devourer coming up in a bit. I don't want to destroy that Nautiloid crate. In fact, I actually want to keep it. Basically, that crate could come in useful for a lot later. I know it costs like 25 encumbrance, but to be fair, it doesn't really matter. And I've got quite a bit of strength as well. And I don't think I've ever actually over-encumbered myself playing this game, actually, as of yet. So that's quite funny, actually. So it's got 9 health, and I got my sneak attack off, and did exactly 9 damage. Would have been on 1 health if I didn't fire bow, dip the fire bow. Yes. Egglish. And then so I'm just looting through. Loot is the name of this game. I love looting. I love games where you can just go through and just steal everything. And to be fair, Baldur's Gate 3 is one of those games where everything can come in handy. So like, anything can get thrown, and yeah, it's just good, you know. And this is one of the things I like playing as a rogue, or solo rogue as well, because it adds verticality to how you play. It makes you think about the sort of playstyle you want to play in. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up here, guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. So yeah, please stay tuned for the next episode, when we get to level 3 and go through all of the chapel. I'll see you next time, guys. Peace out. Bye.